Episode 3 of Cady's Corner on the air, presented by Godzilla Media and sponsored by our good friends over at Mohawk Honda in Scotia, Glenville, where they always go out of their way to please you. And hey, if you came out for their annual pet adoption clinic this past weekend, we thank you very much. It was the final full weekend of April that they did this, and it was deemed very successful. And, we appreciate all your time and energy spent heading on over to Mohawk Honda to check it out. Also, don't forget, though, it's still time over the course of this spring for you to go and get top dollar for your trade-in with the Killy Blue Book Instant Cash offer. Same day, not 3 to 5 business days, not 1 to 3 weeks. No, none of that crap. Same day, you get a check in your hand for the amount that they say your vehicle is worth. Or, hey, instead of that, why don't you go on the Mohawk Honda website, mohawkhonda.com. Go on there before you visit them in person with your used vehicle. Check out their inventory, new vehicles, certified pre-owned used vehicles, and just do a swap out. Nice and easy. Bing, bang, boom. Very, very easy. And you can check out all that inventory over at mohawkhonda.com or check out their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth, because all of Mohawk Honda sales and leasing consultants are ready to work with you to find the best vehicle to fit your budget and lifestyle. Whether you're single, engaged, starting a family, whatever it may be, Mohawk Honda will take care of you. So they make sure you're getting a top dollar vehicle for your budget and lifestyle. Visit Mohawk Honda, Scotia, Glenville this spring, where they always go out of their way to please you. Once again, like I mentioned, this is Cady's Corner, episode 3, presented by Godzilla Media, sponsored by Mohawk Honda. And let's just get right into it. Let's just start right off with the definition of mid. That's right, the Boston Red Sox, Struggle Fest USA. They're not winning games against teams you think they should win, whether it be the Tigers or the Twins. Yes, they've played 9 of their first 18, 19 games so far this season, 10 after today, as we're recording this Thursday, April 28th, against the Blue Jays and Yankees. But the Blue Jays haven't exactly been a model of success so far this year, and they've had their share of injuries, and they're still 12-7. So, I mean, this is a team where going against who's been basically the ace of the Toronto staff today, and Alek Manoah, I mean, you got to be a Red Sox fan, kind of scratch your head going, okay, we're going to be 7-12 after today if things work out the way the odds would say they're going to work out. What the hell is going on with this squad? Well, Trevor Story is supremely underperforming. Let's just put that out there. No home runs, a 240 average or something like that. It's a team where basically Bogarts and Devers are carrying the squad hitting. Verdugo, a bit. JD Martinez, just being JD, but like the other half of the lineup is doing absolutely nothing to help out. Kike Hernandez, Jackie Bradley Jr. sucks. Your bench stinks on ice. Like, this is a team that's definition of mid. Your bullpen's not great, but not awful. It's, I'd say, around average. Your starting rotation, even without Chris Sale, has somehow been decent, aside from Nick Pivetta. Like, I mean, what? This is a case of, if you ask me, this is a team where it's a case of not all the parts click together at the same time. One game where one thing is working out well, the other part's not working out so well. And they got to figure it out. They have to figure it out. Otherwise, they're going to be left behind in the dust in a division that is supremely competitive. I mean, just lay this out here for a second, okay? Look at all the 6 divisions in baseball. The NL East, we're going to see how competitive that turns out depending on how much the Braves really turn things around. But one would say that is a 3-team or maybe even 4-team division depending on what the Marlins do this year. It's basically a Braves, Phillies, Mets division, and then maybe the Marlins can make waves and surprise people, especially if Pablo Lopez keeps doing what he's doing in that rotation for Miami. The NL Central, let's be real, it's a 2-team division. It's Brewers and Cardinals. I'll be real. Like, let's just be honest there. The NL West, again, a basically 2-team division with the Padres and the Dodgers. The AL West. The AL West is a crapshoot, but I'd be willing to say it's pretty much Astros Mariners. AL Central, if it's not the White Sox, then who? Just lay that out there. But the AL East, you want to talk about the biggest grind in Major League Baseball. That's it. Tampa Bay is never laying down, always evolving with young players that work in their system, and they make it work. They win ball games. The Red Sox, we know what they have. The Yankees, we know what they have. Toronto, if you don't know what they have, you've been living under a rock the last 2 to 3 years. And then you have Baltimore being Baltimore. You have 4 legitimate teams in that division that could be anywhere in the playoff standings at any point in the season. And the last thing Boston can afford to do is allow themselves to fall too far behind for them to make up ground. So they need to figure something out and find a way to have all cylinders clicking together at the same time. Otherwise, they're going to fall too far behind and not have enough time to make up for what's going on. Speaking of the AL East, we transition to the York Yankees. Aaron Boone, I hope you keep learning this lesson because you clearly haven't learned it the first 2 years you've been in the Bronx. And I hope you learned it for the final time this past Tuesday against the Orioles when this guy struggled with a 4-0 lead. Stop putting Aroldis Chapman in non-save situations. He doesn't like it. He never has. He never will. Stop the bullcrap. Aroldis Chapman doesn't like doing it. Put in Mike King. Put in Chad Green. Put in Loizaga. Somebody. Don't use Chappie. Don't use Chappie unless it is a save situation. Just stop it. Freaking stop it. And then you've got freaking Michael Kay trying to make excuses for Chapman, saying that Aroldis Chapman usually is a heavy sweater when he's got his best stuff. And tonight he's not sweating like he usually does. So that's why his stuff is off. Oh, so now we're going to say we know if the guy has his best stuff or not because of how he's sweating? Michael Kay, come on. My man, I got a ton of respect for you. I love what you've done in the business. You've been an amazing person on the radio and now the television for baseball for decades, 30 years. And this is what you've come to? You've come to blaming how much a guy is sweating for whether or not he has his stuff on a certain night when he's pitching? Come on, man. Stop that. Stop that. You're better than that, Michael. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, aside from that, it's a Yankees squad that's, they're doing the work. They are doing the work. And since losing 2 out of 3 in Baltimore a week and a half, well, it was 2 weeks ago, they're doing things right. They are doing things right. I still stand by my opinion from episode 2. Kyle Higashioka, not a Major League Baseball starting catcher. I mean, batting $111 with 11 strikeouts in 40 appearances, 36 official at-bats. That means in your official at-bats, you're striking out almost a third of the time. That's Joey Gallo bad. Well, actually, no, I can't even say that because Joey Gallo struck out in 26 of his 56 official at-bats and 63 plate appearances. And yes, this means I'm not forgiving Joey Gallo just because he happens to hit a home run on 2 straight nights against the Orioles. It's the Orioles. You're supposed to do that. And you're still batting $161 and striking out about half the time, Joey. I'm not forgiving you yet. Josh Donaldson, same territory. 22 strikeouts and 62 official at-bats. Not forgiving you. IKF has turned it on. Gleyber Torres, he's night and day. Anthony Rizzo, the Godfather. Love him. Aaron Hicks, congratulations on the baby. Can't wait to have you back. Because the last thing I want to see, which is going on right now in the matinee against the Orioles as I'm recording this at 1:45 p.m. on Thursday, April 28th, we have Marwin freaking Gonzalez in our outfield. Aaron Hicks, hurry the hell back. Just please, for my safety. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Marwin Gonzalez is at shortstop. Tim LeCastro is in left field. My apologies. DJ LeMahieu is doing DJ LeMahieu things. Stanton is Stanton. What's been really impressive is that if you had told me a month and a half ago that Garrett Cole was going to be the worst statistical starting pitcher in the rotation after the first month of the season, I would have called you crazy, but he is. Granted, he's second in the rotation when it comes to strikeouts behind Nestor Cortez, but other than that, this is a guy that's only gotten one decision in his 4 starts and has a 4 ERA. Has given up the most earned runs out of anyone in the rotation. Less than Montgomery, less than Severino, less than Taillon, less than Cortez. Montgomery, very serviceable. Yes, he's only got one decision, and it's a loss in his 4 starts, but 2.70 ERA, I'll take that over Garrett Cole's 4 ERA. Severino, 2.0, 3.32. Taillon, who's starting today, 1-1 with a 3.07 ERA. It's inexcusable for Garrett Cole to be called the ace, but not give you ace-like numbers. It's inexcusable. So Garrett Cole needs to figure his crap out and figure it out quick. Because having the second worst whip and the worst ERA in the starting rotation is not what the Yankees are paying you billions of dollars for. Like, stop it. Figure it out. And then one last thing I need to address about the Yankees. It's not even a Yankee thing. It's a Yankee in-stadium experience I need to bring up. And if you're watching the YouTube version of this show, you know what I'm talking about. Have y'all been watching the Yankee games or going to a Yankees game this season already and notice that when any of our pitchers get 2 strikes on a hitter, before the first pitch with 2 strikes, they play this absurdly annoying, I don't know if it's a horn or if it's a whale sound or whatever it is. Stop it. Just stop it. And here's my theory. If Garrett Cole opens up and says that he doesn't like it, maybe you shouldn't do it. But they're still playing it anyways. Stop it. Get rid of the horn or the whale sound, whatever the hell it is. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. That all being said, the Yankees are 12-6, half game ahead of Toronto in the AL East. Things are looking good so far. Another team that's looking really good. The Metropolitans. I mean, this is a squad, and not only do they look good, they have fight to them. 14-6, tops in the AL East. In fact, the best record in the National League by half a game over the Giants. 3.5 clear of the Marlins, 4.5 of the Phillies, 5.5 of Atlanta. It's impressive. It's a hell of an April for New York. The Mets, that is. Hell of a month. Now, they have today off. They open a 3-game set at Citi Field against Philadelphia, and then they welcome the Braves to town. And it's going to be a battle of the aces in Game 1 against Philly when Aaron Nola takes on Tyler McGill. I say aces because McGill, lack of a better phrase, he's essentially, him and Scherzer have basically been a 1A, 1B with DeGrom out still. This is a squad where things have just clicked. Like, it's just, they just click. Like, I can't even explain it. They're making it work. Like, I've always been a huge fan over the last few years of Alonso, McNeil, and Nimmo. Like, I looked at them and said, here are 3 guys in their late 20s, McNeil now 30. You could build a team around the next 3 to 5 years and make it work. And look what they're doing. They brought in Lindor last season. He signs long-term. He started his long-term contract this season. He's producing. You brought in Eduardo Escobar. He's been a welcome addition to this squad. Starling Marte, yeah, he's only batting .237, but he's doing everything else. Mark Canha, he's batting .333. He's 16-48. Now, he hasn't hit a home run yet, but .333, I'll take that any day of the week from an outfielder. I mean, Dom Smith, Cano, but Cano's 39. I can write that off. Guillorme's been a surprise. JD Davis only batting 231, but I think JD's getting into it. Jankowski's been splendid off the bench. I mean, it's crazy. And then you combine that with what Scherzer's. This is a team that has. Let's just lay this all out here. Okay, this is a team where you look at their top three starters in their rotation. Technically, Scherzer, Bassett, and McGill. None of them have an ERA higher than 2.35, and they're combined 9-1. That's what you want out of your rotation. That is what you want out of your starting rotation. Carrasco, 1-1 with a 4.09 ERA. For a number 4 starter, I'm not going to scream and yell about it. Peterson in 2 fill-in starts with Taijuan Walker on the DL. No decisions, but splendid. He has a .64 ERA, having given up only 1 run on 9 hits and 14 innings pitched this season. Edwin Diaz, done a very good job. Seth Lugo, okay. Drew Smith, outstanding, 8 innings so far this year. Chasen Shreve has even been outstanding, the former Yankee. Joely Rodriguez, really? Joely Rodriguez and Sean Reed full out? No, okay. So Joely Rodriguez and Trevor May are like the 2 guys I'm like, Trevor Williams, too, But Trevor's ERA is a little inflated because of the 1 start he had against Arizona. That was pathetic. But, I mean, this is a team that they seem to have things figured out, man. And they had all the right pieces together with the right manager as well. Let's not forget that. I think Buck Showalter, tremendous, tremendous selection by the Mets franchise. And I think, like, him and Lindor and Alonso, they're all seeing eye to eye, which is very important. And Buck is not going to take any BS. That's probably the most important thing of all. Buck is a no BS kind of guy. And I like no BS kind of guys. Now, one thing of note about this Mets squad is that as we take a look here at what they've done so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So they took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals this week. They won on Monday and Tuesday and then lost 10-5 yesterday. This is the first time in New York Mets history that they have opened a season at any point in the franchise history. The first time the Mets have opened the season winning the first 6 series of their schedule. And it's not like they've been playing pushovers the entire time. The Phillies, not pushovers. The Giants took 3 out of 4 from them. Certainly not pushovers at all. St. Louis, who they just took 2 out of 3 from, not pushovers. And now they have 11 straight games coming up against the Phillies, Braves, and the Phillies again. 3 at home against Philly, 4 at home against Atlanta, then 4 in Philly. And then they go to Washington before they come home for Seattle and St. Louis. So, to me, these next 11 games are crucial because you've now played 3, 7, 10. You've now had 13 games outside of your division since opening with a 5-2 start against Philly and Washington. Now you're going into an 11-game stretch against, let's be honest, your top 2 contenders to deal with in your division. With 7 games against Philly and 4 against Atlanta. They got to put in the work. They have to. They have to buckle down and get the job done against these teams. And that's going to be a true test of, I think, a good litmus test for where this Mets team really is seeing what they do against the Phillies and Braves in the coming week and a half. And obviously, we'll readdress that next week in episode 4 of Cady's Corner. Now, there is one thing I'm going to say here. And then I'll get back to the positive. I know they're doing well together and they have a certain chemistry that they've built over the last year. But let's not go too crazy and start calling Lindor and Alonso the next Reyes and Wright. Let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. Just a little bit. Because I've been seeing those comparisons on social media. Guys, I love Mets fans. I love how passionate they are. God bless them. But let's not go too crazy yet. Let's wait and see what Lindor and Alonso can do about getting this team into the postseason first, and then we'll talk. Let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. But going back to the pitching real quick. because I'm just as confuzzled about how well they're doing as anyone else. I mean, you really got to go back to like the 2015 and 2016 Mets to find rotations performing at this level. And that was a rotation of a good Harvey, Syndergaard, DeGrom, Matz. Like you got to go back 6 or 7 years to find a rotation that was doing this well, this 20 games into the season. And just as a reminder, I will look to pull this up real quick in a second. This is a just a reminder of the 2015 and 16 Mets real quick. So 2016, the Mets rotation, bear with me. Mets rotation in 2016, as I'm on the wrong page, I apologize. The 2016 Mets, I'm a mess today, I'm sorry. Their rotation had a 43-year-old Bartolo Colon going 15-8 with a 3.43 ERA. Beneath him, Harvey struggled. We'll give him that. 4-10, 46. But they had Noah Syndergaard, 2.60 ERA. DeGrom, 3.04 ERA. Matz, 3.40 ERA. Familia, 51 saves with a 2.55 ERA. Go back to the year before, 2015. And essentially the same rotation. 2015, Cologne, not as good, 14 and 13, 4.16 ERA. But the rest of the squad, DeGrom, 14 and 8, 2.54. Harvey, 13 and 8, 2.71. Syndergaard, 9 and 7, 3.24 ERA. John Neese, for a number 5, will take 9 and 10 with a 4.13 ERA. Familia, 1.85 ERA with 43 saves. You have to go back to here and go, all right, yeah, sure. Tyler Clippard was even serviceable for you in 2015. Like, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. But now we get to the elephant in the room. We get to the elephant in the room about Major League Baseball. I don't like it. You're not going to like it. And it's just ridiculous. It has to be brought up. This stuff with hit by pitchers against the Mets right now is utterly absurd. It's ridiculous, it's unnecessary, and it's getting frustrated. Like, I'm getting frustrated for Mets fans and the Mets team. Like, I'm going to try to pull up. Here we go. So hit by pitch individually. As now it's set up so I can't find it easily. Here we go. The New York Mets. So let's see. 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 players in Major League Baseball have been hit by 3 or 4 pitches this season so far. 4 of them are Mets. No other team in Major League Baseball has more than 2 on that list. The Orioles have 2 guys. Mullins has been hit 3 times. Santander has been hit 4 times. J.P. Crawford and France have each been hit 3 times for the Mariners. For the Mets, McCann 3, Dom Smith 3, Alonso 4, Marte 4. But when a pitch comes up and in on accident to Nolan Arenado, oh my God, let's clear the benches because Nolan Arenado is a little baby. The Nets have been immensely professional. Now, they talked about it in the media? Yes. Have they tried taking out on their opponents? No. If Buck Showalter wanted to make an example of Nolan Arenado, he would have hit him in the head in the first inning with Carrasco. He would not have waited until he brought in some random schmuck from the bullpen in the 6th inning. That's not how you do it. It was clearly an accident. Nolan Arenado was just overreacting, and therefore the bench is cleared because Nolan Arenado is a little baby, for lack of a better phrase. I want to say a different B word, but I'm trying to keep this show clean, contrary to my other podcasts. But this is absurd. This is freaking absurd. And I'm trying to look. Oh, here we go. Perfect. All right. So, team statistics. The New York Mets are leading the league this year in hit batsmen with 19. The next closest team, shockingly, in my opinion, the Baltimore Orioles with 13. Now let's bring up some teams that have dangerous lineups that you would think would have more hit batsmen, but don't. The Toronto Blue Jays have 8, which is the league average. The Yankees have 8, which is the league average. The Giants have 9. The Braves have 9. The Dodgers, 6. The Red Sox, 5. The White Sox, 4. The Astros, 4. The Mets have had their hitters get hit by pitches almost 5 times more than the White Sox. The White Sox! And you know the lineup they have there. 4 times more than Boston. We went through who they have already. Double the Dodgers. More, excuse me, triple the Dodgers. Triple. And let me remind you, this is a Dodgers team that has a lineup that consists of, in no particular order, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, Justin Turner, Cody Bellinger, and Mookie Betts, and Max Muncy. You're going to tell me you're going to hit 3 times less batters in this lineup than the Mets lineup? A shame. It's a goddamn shame. Unreal. Now, 2 more things. Number 1, I'm not even going to address Boston in this topic. I'm specifically relating it to the Yankees and Mets. Cutdown day. There is a roster cutdown day coming up across Major League Baseball on Monday, May 2nd. So 3 days from now, 4 days from now, as I'm recording this on Thursday, the 28th of April. 4 days from now, rosters cut down from 28 players to 26. So the question becomes, who do you cut? Who do you cut? And to me, it's a bigger problem for the Mets and the Yankees. Like, let's take a look at the Yankees for a second, all right? So the Yankees have 9, 10. You're not dropping your backup catcher, so 11, 12. I guess you keep Marlon Gonzalez for shits and giggles, so 13. So that means you're basically got to look at your bullpen and say, what 2 guys do I send down? Now, if you're asking me, I would say it's probably going to end up being Likey and Marinaccio have not exactly lit up the world. But I need to ask a difficult question to Yankees fans. I know you're hoping that he's the future, but Jonathan Loaizaga is just not doing it right now. Do you consider sending him down for a month or 2 to straighten his stuff out? Like, I don't know if there's too much ego there from the Steinbrenners or Aaron Boone to send down Loaizaga, but it might not be a half bad idea. 6 earned runs on 7 hits and 6 2/3, 2 home runs. He's basically 1-1 for strikeouts and walks. I mean, his whip is 1.8. By far the highest in the bullpen. Screw the bullpen. The highest on the team. And if you're the Yankees, are you too prideful to send Loaizaga down in the cut down? Or do you do the right thing by him and send him down to work out whatever mechanical problem he has right now? I think Loaizaga has to be one of them, but I've seen the Yankees do stupid stuff before. It wouldn't shock me if they do something stupid again. Now, if you're the Mets, your decision's crazy. Because you're basically using a 14-man rotation right now in your lineup. As you're rotating in the obvious 8, plus obviously you have a DH position to fill, and you're just kind of rotating through McCann, Alonso, McNeil, Lindor, Escobar, Canha, Nimmo, Marte, and then you're cycling through Smith, Cano, Guillorme, J.D. Davis, Tomas Nido as the backup catcher to McCann, and Jankowski. So that's 14, which leaves you, if you're going to cut pitchers, that leaves you with 12 spots. So obviously right now you have Scherzer, Bassett, McGill, Carrasco. David Pearson's done too well to send him down, even though he's hurt, it looks like. Well, no, he's not hurt. I don't know what's going on with Peterson. But you can't send him down. Obviously, you have Diaz, Drew Smith. I don't think you send down Seth Lugo. Chase and Shreve, you're not sending down. That's 9. Adam Ottavino's done exceptionally well. That's 10. So now that leaves you with Joely Rodriguez, Sean Reed Foley, Trevor May, Trevor Williams. And also consider you have Taijuan Walker on the 10-day DL, who should be coming back within the next few days to a week at the most. In fact, I think they're even projecting he might start this weekend against Philly. So you got to send down 2, maybe 3 guys with Taijuan Walker coming back. Who are the short end of the stick? Or do you sacrifice a spot on your bench and just consider it ad luck? Do you send down Guillorme? Do you send down Jankowski, J.D. Davis, Dom Smith? I think Dom Smith, unfortunately, is the lower end of the totem pole right now. Because you can't send down a 39-year-old Robinson Cano with the money you're paying him. Unfortunately, you can't do that. So if somebody has to get the short end of the stick from the bench, I think it's Dominic Smith. And then you figure out, you draw straws on the 2 pitchers you're going to send down. But ideally, you want to see Dom Smith just get more at-bats and figure things out and send down 3 pitchers. But that's going to be a tough decision for the Mets. Much tougher, if you ask me, than the Yankees. Much tougher. Much, much tougher. And then finally, there's been talk about an automated strike zone being implemented in Major League Baseball as early as the 2023 season. And if you want a picturesque example of why this is being asked for by certain parts of the union, as well as the owners, all you have to do is go back and watch the Sunday night baseball game between the Phillies and I believe it was the Brewers. Yeah, Phillies and Brewers. And go watch Angel Hernandez call balls and strikes in that ball game. Freaking atrocious. And it's been known for years he's atrocious. And it's not even like he's being biased. He's atrocious all around towards both teams he's umpiring, no matter what. Angel Hernandez has basically been the biggest problem in Major League Baseball aside from Joe West. And Joe West has just retired in the last year or 2. Thank God. And now the Major League Baseball has gone from having a Joe West problem to finally be able to put the spotlight on the biggest umpire problem, which is Angel Hernandez. And the telling sign that Major League Baseball is accepting the fact they have an Angel Hernandez problem, Kyle Schwarber lost his mind on Hernandez late in that game and didn't even get fined or suspended for the outburst. That's what you accept having a problem without publicly saying you have a problem. Angel Hernandez, get rid of him now. And if you give him a playoff assignment, I'm done. I'm done. The crazy thing, though, Rob Manfred, he's stupid enough to where he might do it. That's going to do it for Cady's Corner, Episode 3, presented by Godzilla Media, sponsored by our good friends at Mohawk Honda. Another week of baseball coming up, and then we'll have Episode 4, because that's how it works. We're a weekly podcast. I don't know. I don't think I had to explain that, but screw it, I just did. That all being said, enjoy your baseball, and enjoy the weather as it's warming up again, thankfully. That's nice. Anyways, enjoy your week. We'll catch you again on Episode 4 of Cady's Corner. Have a good one, folks.